I'm here because of a discussion me and John Humphreys had a while back. We were in a pub in Cambodia discussing, looking at the bedraggled children, the, more or less shoeless children running around on the streets. And we were comparing them to kids in Australia because everywhere in Cambodia you went, you'd see there were kids everywhere, And it was a real contrast to what we see in Australia because you go out in Australia, between the hours of 9 and 3, you will not see a single child everywhere. But Sunday. So we were quite surprised because you go into a shop, there'd be kids there, they'd be helping their parents out. You could jump into a taxi even, and you'd see kids alongside their parents driving a taxi. So we were sort of, we were looking at this and trying to work out which we thought was, how this compared to Australia. And just as a background, we were in Cambodia first in 2009, back not that long ago really, but when we went, we were, everyone was like, well, how can you take your kids to Cambodia? And we had quite young kids. We had a 6-month-old and we had a 3-year-old and we had a 7-year-old, and people sort of, kind of wondering, how you can do this. But, we could get travel insurance, we could get health insurance quite cheaply, so we thought, all right, this is going to be fine, we can trust the market on this one. And it was absolutely fine. And having travelled so many places with kids over the last few years, we've been to Finland and the US, having travelled to so many places, we were amazed how easy it was to travel with kids in Cambodia, this developing country with so little infrastructure, and all of a sudden it's just we jump out of at the airport, go through customs, pay the usual bribes, and just jump into it, took the kids, jump on, our hips, they're just immediately integrated in society. And we were just amazed how much of a nuisance it is to parent in Australia compared to Cambodia. So this is the society where parents are given the opportunity to raise through their own kids, which is just amazing. And you look at Cambodia, just step back and look at Cambodia, and you see this nation where they have 0%, they're number one in unemployment, 0% unemployment, and this is before they get a lucrative contract from our refugees. This is before that, 0% unemployment. Kids have complete mobility to move around. They do go to school, some work in marketplaces, and it's an incredible example of a libertarian upbringing for a child, because all of it, we just have this this society where there is kids able to act the way that kids should, that maybe we acted a couple of 100 years ago. And if you look at also, I think it's an important thing because this is what everyone brought up to my attention, surely kids are dropping dead left, right and centre in Cambodia. And there is dengue fever, there is a bit of malaria, but this is a very, very, this is antibiotics, this is bad healthcare system. But in terms of road fatalities, in terms of all the markers which indicators, this is actually a very safe place to live, which just shows that in terms of where our regulation is going for children, there's not much, we're not making much of a difference for our kids, except where we really have tragedies that child suicide, teen suicide in Australia just by far eclipses anywhere in Cambodia, or anywhere in the developing worlds where these kids are given their level of autonomy. It's just something I'm always quite passionate about, because when we see laws, interfering with our liberties for free speech, and all these, we're really quick to stand up to them. But we're talking about introducing laws where we've got kids in child seats.
Speaking of children.
Hello. Sorry, unaccompanied baggage on the plane.
Anyway, we talk about getting kids into car seats till they're the age of 12, and all these extra restrictions we have. Kids have to stay in school till they're 16 and not choose their own path, not let them start making decisions. And you just have this society where we're disabling our kids from an early choice to start making their own choices, and I think this has a knock-on effect. Anyway, I'll just say in conclusion, we do in Cambodia, what most stunned me is that they didn't raise children to be academics or tradesmen. They just raised them to be adults who make decisions and take balanced risks. And that the consequence is that children know that this is we follow value parenting, and we don't need to have strictly rule-based parenting. That's what I got from Cambodia. All right.